everyone. Today I have a Halloween art card and let's get started. So I'm using a piece of Bristol Smooth and I'm going to be putting on with my blending tool some distress ink in the color Pumice Stone. I think it's Pumice Stone. Yeah, Pumice Stone. And I'm using the moon mask from Tim Holtz. So the first step is just the round circle. This is the smallest of the three. And so I'm just masking off where the moon will go. You won't see it a whole lot in the final, but it's just kind of subtle back there. And this size is 3 by 4. So it's not artist trading card size, but you definitely could scale it to be that. So then with the second part of the mask, moon mask, I position where I want the moon face to be. And I'm going to use Pumice Stone again, but I'm just going to be real light-handed with it. And actually, I kind of wish I'd been a little bit darker because my next step, it's really difficult to see the moon face. You have to look hard to see the moon face kind of back there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to collage a piece of Tim Holtz collage paper. This is a piece of the document set or type. And it had a blank spot on the right where it didn't cover the whole thing. But I'm actually okay with that. I kind of like that idea. So I'm just taking the right hand and just making sure it is not a straight line. And kind of just pulling off bits from the edge. And now I'm going to take some Distress Collage Medium. And I think first I'm going to put some of the, what is that called? Resist? It's not Resist. It's, let me grab it. Distress Glaze. Because that will keep the colors from running. And normally it might not make a whole lot of difference, but with the moon mask, I don't want the moon face to run or any of the pumice stone to run into the moon. So I'm just putting a light coat of the Distress Glaze on to set the ink. And I'm using some of that cling wrap to keep that fresh. And I do dry a little bit here and before I put on my collage medium. So I'm putting a layer down. And then once I put on the collage paper, I will then put a layer on top. And smooth it out as best you can. Sometimes it's really hard to avoid wrinkles. And I dry that because it gets kind of gunky, and then trim. And then you want to, as you're trimming, just typically I have a corner that didn't adhere the best, so I just check all my corners to make sure they're nice and it. So my focal image for the card is going to be this raven, and I cut it out on my Cricut. But if you have a Sizzix die, or maybe you can find a clip art image and cut it out. And I also put on some embossing gel and then embossed it with some black on it. And I don't know how I didn't get that on film, but it didn't. And so I am now just kind of distressing the edges a little bit with some scorched timber. And also some ephemera. These two pieces are from the Ephemera Halloween 2024 pack. And I kind of rough up the edges with some scissors. And then to make it look a little more worn, I kind of fold it in some places and add some distress ink to those spots to make it look like it's really been a worn tag. And Mr. Crow is gonna sit on top of that tag, and I'll have the 31 there to the side. I'm also going to use a couple items from the Ephemera pack-Snippets, and I don't think it's got a certain name on the pack. I don't see it, it just says Snippets. But I love that clock. I wish I had clock hands to make it point to midnight. I think that would have been cool. But I don't. And I might go back and cut something on my Cricut and add it later, but I didn't have it at this point, so. And then I'm taking a number strip from the number strips pack, and I think that's going to be most of the, I think that's all of the ephemera. That 2 for $25 has kind of like a orange cast, so I thought that would be perfect. And I've gone down to the vintage photo, which is a lighter brown, for the other two pieces of ephemera, so it just is not completely that dark. And I'm going to start to glue. And you go back to front, so the clock goes down first. The 31 is because October 31st is Halloween. I'm going to take some pieces of my homemade dyed Scotch tape, or it's not Scotch, but it's just a cheap tape from the dollar store, and just adding it in a couple places. And so I put 3 places down there. You can see the tape. And I just taped them on. I don't glue them on. I just taped them on. Over time, we'll see if maybe that wasn't the best idea, but it seemed okay. And the last thing I'm going to do is add a sentiment from the Sticker Book-Halloween 2024. And it says, "An unnatural voice." And that's it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.